Hey, what's up, my Saggy friends? This is your mid to end of the month horoscope for October 2016. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is for anyone who has the sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign in the sign of Sagittarius. Don't forget that you are more than just one sign, though, my peoples. You can check out your birth chart. I have a link in the description box to where you can go and look at it for free. If you know your time of birth, then that way you can find out what your rising sign is, which may be different from Sagittarius. Even if you don't have your birth time, there's a possibility you could still know what your moon sign is, which could also be different from Sag. So there's different sides to you. If you know what those are, I suggest you also go watch your monthly forecast for both the moon and the rising signs as well. Also, if you would like a reading, an interpretation of your chart by a real person such as moi, I would love to help you out by giving you a reading. You can go to my website, which is indigomoon.astrology.com, and you can place an order for a reading there. All right, well, on to your October forecast. All right, Sagittarius, thank you so much for being patient. I'm sorry these have come late this month. There's been a lot going on in my world, but I'm still trying to be consistent, keep my word. Get your horoscope out. I already got the other ones out, so let's roll and get this going. This forecast is for October 15th through the 31st. So on the 16th, we had a full moon in the sign of Aries in conjunction with Uranus. So a full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposing one another. So that's why the energy is so tense, because we have ego and expression, which is the sun here in Libra, and then we have emotions and the deep subconscious mind in the sign of Aries on the opposite end. And right there in the mix, right next to that moon, right next to emotions, was the planet Uranus in the sign of Aries too. So Aries energy already in general is very freedom loving and rebellious, which my Sages can appreciate to an extent. And the energy of the planet Uranus is also very freedom loving and rebellious, but maybe just in a different way. It's more like, I don't want to follow the crowds. I don't want to follow the norm. I don't want to do a 9-to-5. I don't want to live inside of a box type of thing. I want to be a little bit of a weirdo and just be free to be myself. So Aries energy is all about the self. Okay, so this is like following the crowds and doing what other people want you to do and going along with what everyone else is doing, versus doing the complete opposite, just stomping in some boots on your own path, you know. So that is this full moon in general. So for you guys, for Sagittarius, this is happening in your 5th house. The 5th house is the area of life that is associated with your own business. It is your confidence, and your ego is part of it too. Also creative projects. It's also romance, and it's also children. So with this moon happening there, let me tell you, there is a possibility that some of my Sages, if you have kids, they can kind of all of a sudden have a breakthrough, whether, you know, they get involved in something that's positive and say, Mom or Dad, guess what? I decided to join this club at school and I really want to pursue this, that, or the other, which is excellent. They can all of a sudden want to change something about their lives, you know. Even if you have children, they're still people too. Maybe they're like, Mom or Dad, I want to change my hair. I want to change my style of dress. I just really want to change something that's more true to me. Or maybe you're a Sag that, you know, since you guys are usually a pretty freedom-loving sign, a lot of Sages that I know, they don't have kids. You know, they're usually out free, roaming the world, doing whatever they want, whenever they please. But maybe some of you guys decide all of a sudden you do want children, okay? Because the moon is associated with family and emotions, motherhood, nurturing. So Uranus is like zapping the moon in that area of life that rules children for you. So it's a zap that's like suddenly a breakthrough. I want kids. Or maybe some of you may suddenly become pregnant. My Saggies, if you're not trying to have that happen, hey, you're very fertile right now, okay? So just watch yourselves. With Uranus being in your 5th house in general, and it's going to be there for a couple more years till I think about 2018, 2019. You guys are more have a more high probability of becoming suddenly pregnant or suddenly, you know, impregnating someone or whatever. And I hope that's not too like gross or whatever, but I'm just being honest and real as always. So you guys may suddenly want to have children, suddenly have a child. You guys may want to suddenly change something within your business or start a business. Some of you guys may suddenly find yourself in a romantic situation that you never imagined you'd be in. This can be involving friends, you know, a romantic relationship with a friend, because on the opposite side is Libra hanging out in your 11th house, which rules friendships. So, you know, they can come together and be like, hey, I thought so-and-so was kind of cute, but they're a good friend. Now all of a sudden, bing, hearts in your eyes towards that friend. You never know. So on the 18th, some wonderful news for my Sagittarians. Venus moves into your sign. Woo! Time to do a little happy dance. You know why? Because Venus represents love, relationships, and the pleasures of life on Earth as a human being in the physical world. So Venus moving into your sign means more of that for my Sagittarians. You guys will be looking and feeling great. If you're not, you're going to want to do something about that. You may pay more attention to your appearance, not be happy with it, and want to do something like, I want to go shopping, I want to buy a whole new wardrobe, I want to do my hair different, like I want to buy some new makeup. Whether guy or girl, I don't discriminate. You may want to get a haircut, just like, I don't know, beautify your living space and your environment. You just want more Venusian things around you. You want to see the world through the perception of Venus a lot more. So this can bring more relationship energy into your world as well. People may view you a little bit more as an available person who is open to love. And if you are already in a relationship, well, this is going to enhance that even more. Or what can also happen, just being real here, is you feel like you deserve more love, more attention. You're feeling beautiful, sexy, you're feeling attractive, and then your partner is still sitting there like a bump on a log, not even giving you attention, okay? Not even noticing this glow, this Venusian goddess energy that you're wearing on you. You're gonna look at them like, okay, you know what? I deserve attention. Okay, look at me right now. Okay, so why are you not giving this to me? And it can bring that issue to light so that you can come to an agreement and be on the same page as far as your energy levels when it comes to the Venus love energy. On the 29th, Venus will come into a conjunction with Saturn in your sign. Saturn. Woo, Saturn has been doing some things in the lives of my Sag friends since the fall of 2015. So for the past year, Saturn has been asking you guys to be more responsible. And a lot of my Saggies are like Peter Pan, or you like to think of yourselves as like Peter Pan. You don't want to grow up. You don't want to have to be burdened and bogged down with responsibility. Some of you guys, I'm not saying that you're all bums and you don't want to work, you don't want to make a living for yourself. Oh yeah, a lot of my Sag friends, a lot of people that I know that are Sag energy are very successful. You guys have great jobs, great luck with jobs, but just how you enjoy life is more on the freedom loving side, okay? And just to skip around, flying around, traveling, you know, doing things that make you happy and always being optimistic. But Saturn energy has been brought to your lives and given you some serious responsibilities and serious challenges. Some of you guys have become parents, became husband or wife, become, you know, grandparents, become employees for the first time, or become in a position of authority. Some of you guys have joined the military. I mean, just some really serious life changes have been happening for you. So with amongst all this seriousness that you guys are carrying and it's been weighing upon you for the last year, Venus coming in conjunction with Saturn can kind of loosen things up a little bit, okay? She's going to soften the Saturn energy a bit and say, look, give Sag a break. Sag has been working hard. Sag has been doing what you've been telling them to do, being responsible. Can they please have some sort of pleasure and enjoyment in life, at least for this short time that I'm hanging out here? And then Saturn may still have his arms folded and be like, all right, you can play for a little bit, okay? Just like a strict father, you can play for a little bit, but then you got to get back inside, sit your booty down at the table and do your homework. So that's Venus in conjunction with Saturn, softening things up a bit for you in life on the 29th. So on the 19th, Mars and Pluto come together in the sign of Capricorn. For you guys, this is your second house of earned income and your resources, your finances, your material world and values. Whew. So first of all, Mars is aggression, action, drive, initiative. Pluto is power. It's like that mobster, underworld guy type of power. The silent but deadly power. The power that you don't always see in front of you, like in a suit and tie. They're more like the guy behind the scenes, okay? The guy that's in a disguise that you don't know he's a powerful being, but underneath that, you know, regular clothes, this guy can do some things. So when these two come together, they're very powerful energies together. Mars is action, so he will carry out whatever actions Pluto is telling him to do. For you guys in your second house of earned income, this can mean you want to go after a more powerful position when it comes to how you earn money. You may want to go after a higher paying job, okay? You may just start feeling, especially when Venus goes into your sign, and Venus rules worth, worthiness, self-worth, your values, how you value yourself and the material world around you. You may feel like you want more of that. You deserve more of that. So Mars and Pluto is going to be like, you know what? We need to gain this power to be able to go after more of that for ourselves. On a negative side, Mars and Pluto energy together can be kind of destructive. I mean, physically destructive of property. So some of my Saggies, if you guys get mad, you guys get pissed off, you may around that time of the 19th, maybe days before, days after, you get pissed at somebody, you may want to destroy some stuff out of anger, or you can be a little bit more at risk of people acting out towards your physical property in that kind of way too. So I would be very, very careful with that. But positive side is power to go after more money and go after what you feel like you are worth and what you deserve. On the 22nd, the sun moves into Scorpio, and for you guys, this is your 12th house, the mysterious 12th house. So the sun is ego and expression, vitality, okay? Even physical vitality. The 12th house is like a deep ocean. It's the last house on the wheel, on the birth chart wheel, and it's an energy that's kind of like Pisces. It's like very flowy. It's flowy like water in the oceans. And so when your vitality goes underwater like that, it's fizzled out a bit. So my Sages, I'm sorry to say, you know, but just being honest, your vitality may be brought down for like about a month, okay? From Scorpio to Sag, Sun. So you're gonna have to work extra hard to have your energy levels be up. And you are gonna have to do things like take extra precautions with your health, like just vitamins, more rest, you know, nothing major. Your immune system will be kind of a little bit lower too. So make sure you really take care of yourself. I know that October and November, those are times of year where people want to eat more like sweets and stuff like that. You guys may have to watch it with that because sugar will feed bacteria and viruses and stuff like that. So make sure you are taking care of your health really, really well around from the 22nd of October through November until Sag season begins. Take really good care of yourself and get lots of rest. The 12th house is also a time of reflection, okay, like reflecting back on the past. And what is also going to enhance that reflection type of energy going on is Mercury, the planet of communication, the thought processes. The mind is going to also move into Scorpio, into this 12th house as well. So you guys may have a lot of memories come back to you. This is also a karmic house, so you may have a lot of karmic thoughts come back too, like of times that maybe you hurt someone, you know, or someone hurt you. It may replay back in your mind, Sag. But this is because the last house on the zodiac wheel is a time where you tie up loose ends, because when the energy shifts to the first one, which is when the energy goes into Sag for you guys, that is the time where you feel more energized and alive and reborn, like you're reborn every year during Sag season. It's time for some action. It's time for me to get out there, show the world, this is me, this is who I am. I'm proud to be me. I am going to do what I'm here to do and serve my purpose, right? But before that, you got to make sure that whatever you had going on in the previous life, well, life, okay, previous season, previous year, birth year, whatever you had going on then is like finished, tied off, okay, tied off, so that you can begin fresh and new, released from old karma. The very last thing that's going to occur and be initiated in the sign of Scorpio in your 12th house is on the 30th of October. There's going to be a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. So this is a new beginning. It's when the sun and moon come together and they birth something brand new, a new start, something fresh. So for you guys, 12th house energy, maybe you find a new way to take care of yourself, to relax. Maybe you find a new way to escape reality, because this is also the house of escapism. But I know you guys, Saggies, are very adventurous, like to do a lot of wild stuff, generally speaking about your energy. I don't recommend doing like crazy stuff that people may do during 12th house transits, which includes like getting too involved in drugs and alcohol, like overindulgent with that stuff. You guys have a tendency, your energy, Sag energy, has a tendency to overindulge at times and overdo things because you guys are so optimistic about tomorrow. There will always be a tomorrow. There will always be more. You know, that sometimes you guys get a little out of control with drinking and substances and stuff because you're like, I have no fear of anything bad happening to me. I feel protected and safe by, you know, faith in the universe working in my favor. So don't overdo it with the drugs and alcohol. You guys are so susceptible to that right now during Scorpio season. Scorpio energy is a little bit dark as well. You know, it can go to the dark side. So just be very, very mindful of that. Be very careful. But healthy escapism, yes, yes, honey, yes, Sagittarius. Travel to places you haven't been that are far away, even further than you've ever gone before. You guys are some traveling people too. So going somewhere near water will definitely help. So maybe you guys can initiate a new beginning with, you know, a travel to a faraway place near water to help release old karma, old emotions and energy. Wash it away in the ocean, honey. You know, this is a good time to do that. All right, so last but not least, I'm going to pull 2 angel cards for you guys for October. They're only for the full moon on the 16th and the new moon on the 30th. All right, so I'll shuffle the cards and I'll be right back to present them to you. All right, Sag, so these are the cards that came up for you guys for the month of October. For the full moon that happens on the 16th of October, you guys got the 6 of Fire card. And the full moon is in the sign of Aries, a fellow fire sign. And it's happening in a fire house for you, which is your 5th house. So the message on the card says victory. Good news is on its way, public recognition or awards. So my Saggies, you guys in the month of September had a lot of energy concentrated in your 10th house of career. So there could have been some great achievements there. And now you may be reaping the rewards this month. So that's one interpretation. But also, this full moon is happening in your 5th house, which has to do with owning your own business. And it's also like your self-esteem. And, you know, it can be a little bit braggy, a little bit boastful at times, a little bit loud about like, look at me, look what I do, and, you know, look who I know, and I rub elbows with celebrities and bigwigs, ha ha ha. Like, that's kind of the 5th house energy at times. So that's like the negative way to use that energy. But check this out. His wand here that he's carrying, it has like a purple hue stone at the end. And those are usually associated with divine creativity, connection to the divine, connection, like a psychic connection to things, the unseen world, like not always the physical world. So I think this is telling you, look, you've got these people throwing rose petals at you for, you know, your accomplishments, and you've got, you know, people just like worshiping you, like, oh, you're so great, Sag, but don't forget about like this part of your world, okay? Like the unseen world. Like you may be like basking in all of this, like, oh yes, I'm the greatest, but don't forget to have compassion for other people. That's also what this color represents too. Compassion for others. Don't be too braggy. Don't be too like pompous. Make sure that you still maintain a balance between the physical and the unseen world. This can mean that your accomplishments and your victory has to do with doing something creative, because the house that this full moon is happening in for you is in a creative house. So some of my Saggies, maybe you guys are like involved in something creative, like doing creative projects or in a creative field for a career, and now you get congratulated for something that you've accomplished and achieved, and you're like, yes, 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 I couldn't have done this without, this creative energy that I have, like divine creativity. I'm talking about creativity that just flows through you and you don't know where it came from. I'm talking about that creativity that's like you sit in front of a piano and you just start feeling around on the keys and start playing a full song without ever have taken a piano lesson. That natural creativity, some of you guys can be achieving great things due to that. But anyway, yeah, this card is like sixes. A lot of times six energy is like worry or like resolving problems. So you could have resolved some sort of problem and finally like, oh my gosh, now I can move on with my life and achieve some really great things. So that is the Six of Fire card for the full moon for you guys. And then for the new moon that happens on the 30th in the sign of Scorpio, you guys got the Empress card, which the message on the card says, lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. So the new moon is happening for you guys in your 12th house. All the Scorpio energy that happens this month is in your 12th house. This says give birth to your dreams. The 12th house is actually associated with your actual dreams, like the dreams that you dream at night when you're sleeping. And I would say to really pay attention to those, especially around this new moon, because you may have some messages that are from, the unseen world. I mean, that can mean like relatives that have passed on, loved ones of any kind that have passed on and that are in the spirit realm now. If you believe in such things as spirit guides, angels, you may have messages from them come to you through your dreams. And this is saying also, because if you don't believe in all that stuff, this is just the 12th house is an energy of your own divine creativity, like what I explained in the purple part of the wand in the last card. It's just creativity that comes to you from an unseen source. You just like, I don't know, I just create and good stuff happens. So really tap into that energy this month, and it can bring some sort of abundance to you. Now the nurturing part of this card, because there is, a very nurturing message on the card, like as far as in the pictures, it's got a bunch of animals on there, and the 12th house energy is about loving animals. It's about loving all beings here on earth. And a lot of people with 12th house energy by birth, they are very sensitive to animals. They can communicate with animals. They become people who have a lot of pets or work as veterinarians, working with animals in some sort of caring, compassionate way. So this is really telling you to tap into that tender side of the 12th house. It can be a very sensitive and compassionate energy. So, celebrate your accomplishments, but don't forget about this part of yourself. You guys can be compassionate too. You're very fiery and feisty and always charging after your goals and everything out in the world and traveling around and stuff. But don't forget to take the time out to really pay attention to yourself and also other people that you care about. Okay, so that is your cards this month, Sagittarius, for October. All right, Saggies, thank you guys so much for your patience. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope October is still going well and has gone well for you guys. As I mentioned in my video where I gave you guys an update and talked about my new website and everything, I put my website up on my videos for September, and after that, a lot of you guys are hitting me up for readings, and I'm so excited about that because that's the whole intention behind that. It's just a landing page to order readings, and I've been so focused on those and giving my best and giving my all to all of your readings that you've ordered. So, the horoscopes came late this month. I will be sure to make sure that November isn't the same circumstances. So I will be here for you guys in November as well. And yeah, if you would like a reading, don't forget indigomoon.astrology.com, and I will be happy to get a reading scheduled for you guys. All right. Well, take care. I will see you guys next month in November for Sag season. It's party time. Excellent. Woo, woo, woo. All right, guys. Peace.